The White House is flagging national security concerns over foreign money flowing to American universities. The Education Department says colleges collected more than $5 billion from foreign countries in 2025, with Qatar leading the pack. Half of that money went to Carnegie Mellon, MIT, Stanford, and Harvard, some of the most prestigious schools in the country. Kevin, is this a problem or not?
No, not a problem. Let me disclose and be transparent. I'm an executive fellow at Harvard. I teach entrepreneurs there. Here's my view on this. If you have a genius from any country, including Iran or Iraq or India or anything, remember, these colleges and universities are allowed to curate their own cohorts. They bring them to America. We train them for 2 years. And then these are the best and brightest. These are people. They're assets. We should train them and offer them, if they clear their background checks, their families should get passports, they should stay in this country and create jobs. We did this after the Second World War. The same guys that bombed us with V-2 rockets, they created NASA. We were smart enough to bring them into the country, give them American citizenship, and they built technology. I can't imagine ever a university not being allowed to bring in a foreign genius into their class so that I can teach them. That's crazy, and I'm against this policy of trying to in any way disrupt what we do so well in American institutions like Harvard. 400 years of success, 400 years of entrepreneurship. There's no college on earth like it, and I'm supporting them.
Caroline, the flip side of that is with money comes undue influence, especially on college campuses. Should we be accepting all this money?
There have been high-profile cases of Chinese espionage in American universities. That's not good. The issue is if you are a university that accepts taxpayer funding, we should not allow that school to be compromised by influence from adversarial countries like China. And that's really the big thing here is Saudi Arabia is one of the biggest grantors. Qatar is really high up there. They are obviously trying to influence American students. And again, if they're totally private, they have the right. But not all these schools are totally private. So that's the issue there.
Quick thoughts, Dagan and Jackie.
I'm torn on this. I hear Kevin on the genius aspect of it, that you don't want to have limits on what we could potentially do here, and you want the best and brightest talent, and you want to harness that. But at the same time, after the anti-Semitism that we saw erupt on college campuses over the last couple of years, I rethink that a little. Is every single person that is coming one of these geniuses? How can we screen better to make sure that we're letting good people, productive people into our society, but also limiting the bad ones? Yep. I'm not a huge fan of Qatar, which I believe was number one. And I know that the administration is and looks at Qatar as a peace brokering agent within the region. I find them far more divisive than that. And so I have to ask why they are giving this kind of money to these institutions. I just think we need better screening policies to make sure the right people come here.
Gotta go. But a couple seconds, go.
There needs to be a focus on individual talent coming here, to Kevin's point, but also protecting what is uniquely American from foreign bad actors. And some of the names on here are foreign bad actors. And why can't we prevent, say, Chinese communists from bringing agricultural bioweapons in? But then we cut off people wanting to come here and study and stay here and become U.S. citizens. There has to be an in-between.
Remember, if we don't take them, China takes them.
That's fair.
Right.
So let's make sure we don't send geniuses over to our adversaries.